Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 612. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsad,
Ahoy!
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 612. Streaming live on Twitch, Tuesday night, starting at 8 o'clock. Gamecast, Moviecast, then Gamecast. Join us. We'd love to have a conversation on here. We actually answered a question, I think, 2 weeks ago with a viewer, so we'll take a break, whatever we're talking about, and we'll answer some questions. So join us live. Following day on YouTube. And again, hit that subscribe button on both. See us on both.
Smash it.
Smash that subscribe button. Smash the like button. As Tony said, break everything you have in your house to smash all those buttons.
No.
All right, this is the Gamecast. Welcome, guys. We have a lot to go over here. We've got 2 shows to talk about today that happened, so we got fresh news to dissect on this.
I like how, by the way, we didn't know about this last week. It was rumored, and obviously Nintendo always does a direct in September, but in literally less than one day, Nintendo was like, all right, guys, direct tomorrow. And then Sony in the afternoon was like, oh, by the way, we got one too. This is like, oh, there you go. Look, I mean, it's like E3 in September, Jim. It's weird.
It's weird. It's like Christmas in July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, guys,
Where's Microsoft?
I think we'll have a show for them very shortly, actually.
There's Microsoft News.
Well, no, there is Microsoft News, but no conference show.
Unfortunately. Anyways, let's get into what we've been up to, and then we'll get into some news here. Playing-wise, guys, what have you been playing? Tony, more Xenoblade?
No, Splatoon 3 came out. So
that's right, Splatoon 3. How many millions in the first, it set records?
In Japan, it was confirmed to have sold 3.45 million units in the first 3 days, which broke every and all records for any video game sold in the first week in Japan. And that's only 3 days, not even the whole full week yet. But Nintendo was just like, we can announce this as PR on Monday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that is ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of, I want to say like a Fortnite over there, where it's just like it has ascended being a video game into becoming part of the cultural, what is it, zeitgeist? I think that's how they pronounce it. Where just there's so many collaborations, there's so many like 7-Eleven has an entire suite of Splatoon 3 foods and goods, and they even have a promotion where you can check in while you're at a 7-Eleven and get exclusive wallpapers for your mobile phone and stuff. It's ridiculous, unprecedented, and insane. So hopefully that means
good for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the second one.
Yeah, no, and I would encourage you to play the third one, or get the third one at some point, because Salmon Run, it's up all the time now. It's not because I remember that was the most frustrating thing. It's damn, we only got 2 hours to do this or something like that, which was the horde mode equivalent in the game and stuff like that. But more weapons, more stages, more music, more modes. It's just good, solid fun, and it's really addictive gameplay loop, because it's just 3-minute matches. And not to say you can't rage or anything like that. There's definitely been a couple of times where I'm okay game, or okay, you scrub using a roller or something like that. But it's a really addictive gameplay loop, and it's fun because it's not really that violent. I mean, you're shooting people with paint, so it's not
No, it's definitely good. You were talking about Moviecast a couple weeks ago. It's that ultra violence has just been so oversaturated these days that it's nice to have something that's a little more toned down, and with this it's just more playful, more fun, and it's a lot more accessible to the younger audience, because you don't feel feels bad I'm giving my kids something where I'm shooting people and killing. There's no killing in this, really. It's just having fun, shooting paint.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting games. The Splatoon 2, like you said, those rotating thing, when I tried it, I didn't appreciate that. I like to be able to play that horde mode. I remember that sticking out to me as what I enjoyed the most. So interesting to see how that works now with this. All right, what else, guys? Corey?
Not too much. I've been playing more my boys. They really like that gunfire game that I've been playing with them. I talked about last week. We've been playing more of that, so just mostly that at the moment.
Mike?
So in the first half of the week, I went back to some games that I hadn't played at all. Wanted to see how they were in a little bit. So I tried Sifu again, and I can't believe I was ever good enough to beat that game because after just months, I can't do anything, and I'm very surprised how much of it really is like just being out of practice with that game.
Yeah, you don't
So that was
use
fun.
it, you lose it.
Yeah, and then I had a similar thing. I also decided because since I've had this new setup on the PS5 and the TV, I haven't played Arkham Knight, so I went and booted that up on there. And a similar thing, I had a few challenge room scores where I'm like, how did I ever do that? But I did finally get one new one where I improved a score to under the top 1,000 in a free flow one, which I was happy about. But then after that, the second half of the week, after I got some gift cards, I downloaded the Cowabunga collection finally.
Ooh. Or
And
Cowabunga.
yeah.
All right, let's hear about it.
So I've played two or three of the games so far. The first one I did was basically the first one they show you was just the original arcade game. And this one I always remember. I never beat in the arcades because my parents always told me once you saved April, the story was done, and all the levels after that were just cleaning up the streets, just to get me to leave.
Yeah.
So I was just curious to see what happens after that, and there's a few levels after that. It's funny because the original arcade, I kind of like the aesthetics of that one the most. I like the style and the look of the turtles, but if you recall, you don't have dashes or the like screen throws in that one, and it also feels like extra cheap. I don't know if it's if like Turtles in Time arcade will feel the same way going back because I haven't played that yet, but if I wasn't just able to press start to add coins, I'm like I would be very frustrated with this. Like, oh, this is nonsense.
Well,
I'm just
boss fights by themselves. You die.
Yeah, I'm just
get through the bosses.
you can't even get like a hit off. You just keep you get like in a stun loop or something. But whatever. So that was fun to see through to the end. And then the other thing, which is like the main event for me here. Because I've been looking for these games for a while. I've gotten the Genesis version of Tournament Fighters already. I played it a bit. It's okay. It's very hard, but I really wanted the Super Nintendo version, which I've never played before, and that's obviously on here. So I started that up, and it has more of a story mode than I expected. And I still have to figure out how to not be bad at it, but it definitely seems like there's more to it, and I'm looking forward to really diving into that one.
Yeah.
But I just
yes, I remember playing that like crazy. So
yeah, and hopefully getting someone to play with me at some point too for that one. For all these games would be better with someone else aside from the original NES one, which is on my horizon as well. But I know that's notoriously hard. But there is save states, and rewinds, and I think I will use them liberally to try to get through that game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So it's a lot of content, and I'm ready to go through it. I'm excited about it.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Let's get into the news because we've got a lot.
What have you been doing, Jim?
Me, nothing game wise. Nothing game wise. Shows wise. I've been doing shows and it's beginning of school, so I'm working like crazy from home.
Overworked.
Yeah, I'm working like crazy from home.
Crunched.
Yeah, crunch.
You are crunching.
It's crunch time.
You are.
But we love it, right? I mean, we love to work through the crunch and.
No, we don't.
No. So no game for me yet.
That's fair.
So I'll be back to Xenoblade hopefully this week. So. All right, getting into the news here, we'll kick it off with, I guess we'll start with Nintendo. I mean, that's the way to go, right? I mean, that's the game show.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Let's get the Microsoft news out of the way.
Oh yeah, the Microsoft news. Let's go into that one first. Sorry. Yes, that's true. Let's get that out of the way. What's going on in the Microsoft
343 news.
Let's go in the.
Well, it's the only Microsoft news that exists.
But it could be good news. Let's go on the refacing of 343 because
skeptical.
Apparently the head is out of 343 now, stepping down.
Yeah, what's her name? Let me see.
Bonnie Ross. Yeah. So here's the thing with this for me, from my perspective, I saw her name floating around and like people complaining about her, And I kind of ignored it because I'm just like, oh, it's a woman. They're just blaming her for being a woman. I didn't pay attention to it really, but she's stepping down now. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be good for
It can't
them.
be
I
much
just know
worse.
it's going to be different.
It can't be worse.
I mean, no
I guess.
offense
I don't
to
know.
Bonnie and what she's done there, but she hasn't put out a mainline game that's been successful.
Yeah.
That's not really true. I mean, 4 was, take it or leave it, but it was okay. 5 was financially successful for them because it had shitty microtransactions and enough people went into it. So, and
I mean, is Halo better off now than it was?
No,
right. But that's why
So,
Bungie got out of it when they did, because it was already getting long in the tooth when Reach came out.
I mean, maybe, but
so
hold
on. Sorry, real quick. Let's get into the full news, and then we can talk about it. So she is stepping down due to, and she's not getting fired because the way these stupid fucking journalists wrote the headlines made it seem like Phil Spencer fired her or something like that. She had a family medical thing that required her immediate attention, and she wanted to stay through this year and get the winter Halo Infinite update out before she. Apparently, this is a planned thing, but because of real life medical things, it accelerated that. So she's stepping down, and because of that, people have to be restructured at 343 Industries. So now we can talk about it. Yes, I would agree that. Yeah, I'm not trying to take away from her pedigree. I'm not trying to take away from what she had done previously at Bungie, but I would say easily at 343, whatever it is, whether it's because it's a new team and not Bungie, or her leadership, or whatever reasons we want to speculate and come up with, Halo has floundered under her, and that is the truth. You cannot argue.
And absolutely, it cannot be overstated that family comes first, and
yes, absolutely.
We our thoughts and hearts and prayers, whatever you want to say, they go out to her family, and hopefully everything works out for her and hers. But as far as her leadership and her guidance for the Halo franchise, she did not leave it in a better state than it was when she took over. And that's the thing is, sure, you could say, oh, it's getting long in the tooth, or that it's the writing's on the wall, guys. This is gonna be it for Halo. Everybody's tired of it and it's done. But look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty just continues to go and continues to succeed, and they're reinventing themselves, and they're changing things, and they're being more modern with what they're doing, and
at a faster rate.
And more games
And that's what I'm talking about. I've cited over the years, but Halo used to be the premier first-person shooter IP since 2001. Yeah. It was the premier one,
literally,
until Call of Duty, 4 came out. I would say Modern Warfare, or maybe Modern Warfare 2 was the one that really blew the franchise up, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, since then, even with that, you've just seen competitors rise up. You've seen not direct because it's first person, but you've seen Fortnite, you've seen Overwatch, you've seen Apex Legends. How many other shooters do you want to name?
But this isn't really. It's not really a Halo problem. It's the service aspect problem. It's how they can.
It's the.
It's the leadership. That's where we're talking about. That's how this.
But when Infinite released, it had all the momentum in the world, and because people really liked the way the gameplay was, and it was a return to form in some ways. It had the equipment. Everyone was all on board.
Yeah, sure, because it was free to play. Free to try.
It wasn't. Yeah. And it was, but the problem was they framed it as a live service game, and they failed completely.
Well, that's
sure, absolutely. But look at their failures. Halo 4 at best was controversial in the community. Halo 5 was, to my understanding, a disaster. I've not talked to a single person that was ever happy with that game. Halo Master Chief Collection, which should have been an easy home run, slam dunk, whatever you want to call it, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Fucking was a disaster. Disaster. It took them years to turn that game around. And then, the first new game after that was Halo Infinite. I'm sorry, how many failures do you have to have in a row before, the buck stops and you stop making excuses for it?
Absolutely. So they're bringing in 3 new old staff members. Is that what they're doing for this?
Well, not staff. It's people got promoted because
They got
obviously
promoted?
when
Okay. I thought
somebody
they were, like,
falls.
previously in. Weren't they previously in charge? One of them
I don't
was,
know,
right?
man. This is the other thing. Like, will reshuffling leadership help them when they just seem to have a problem, just a productivity problem?
Well,
they
that's again,
can't-
Mike, they have to.
Mike, I don't understand why you don't get this. Leadership starts and leadership dictates everything that goes on in a company. So if you're going to
Sure,
be
but you just
productivity
need
on it,
more people.
They have 450 people
have
working at this
400
company.
people.
We literally just talked about this last week with the.
They don't need more. It's not manpower right now at this point. It's the creep scope
We need
that they're not
we need people with
managing.
decisive choices in this world.
they're one of the
Halo
biggest
world.
studios.
Yeah.
They're one of the biggest studios.
Yeah,
Well, again,
that's management.
reshuffling management who's already there. I don't know if that's going to do much, but
You don't think getting rid of a bad boss is going to?
I'm skeptical if it's going to do anything.
Sure, you could be
Yeah, I mean,
skeptical.
absolutely.
I'm skeptical too because
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to.
We'll see.
I think
I mean,
it's
there's no
too
guarantee. I don't know.
You're right. There is no guarantee. None of us are saying it's a guarantee.
Yeah.
But given staying the course, or hey, promoting new people that might have ideas, including the person who did actually turn Halo Master Chief Collection around, I'll give that guy a shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to do something at this point because it's not going anywhere. Like, as you can attest, Mike, we've gotten two seasons.
I'm thinking of this
in a
more.
year.
I know, but again, I'm thinking of this more short term. I feel like when this happens, everything else is going to be pushed even further. While they're bleeding already because
or you just start cutting fat and you put out something and you get some more content out. Like you just start just again. Creep scope.
Just don't see anything. I don't see acceleration happening with, a sort of restructuring in the middle of everything. But I will see, I guess. But I'm skeptical.
I mean, it could go both ways, so for sure. But at the same time, like, a change needed to happen, and unfortunately, the circumstances dictated it happen at this point. But I'm not upset about it, like, because I wasn't invested in their studio at all at this point.
Upset. I'm just wondering how it's going to work.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, Nintendo Direct. Let's get into that.
Yep.
That was today, and
Yep.
I'm just bringing it up so we can kind of go over. I watched it today on YouTube, so I can go over the bigger games. There was a lot of filler games to play that obviously they're not bad games, but there's a lot of minor games that were announced. So if I skip one, let me know. But I mean, obviously we got a Splatoon announcement in the beginning, right? Was it Splatoon? No, it wasn't Splatoon. I'm sorry. What was
No, it's Fire.
Fire Emblem.
It's Fire.
Sorry.
Dude.
Fire Emblem was the first one. Sorry, Fire Emblem was the first one. That was the game I'm like absolutely going to be getting. I mean, that's a remake, right? Or no?
No. This is a completely new game.
Good.
It's called.
Someone said that was a remake to me. I'm like, that is, and I was like, no, it's not.
No, they're stupid if that's what they're saying.
Okay.
It's called Fire Emblem Engage.
Someone you talk to is an idiot.
Good.
Yeah,
No,
whoever you
it's good
talk
to
to.
hear.
And I hope they listen to it.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's a brand new game coming out in January, so that's a very quick turnaround time because it was never previously announced. But the rumors over the past this year, somebody had leaked the character design, which we saw today, and people were kind of like skeptical about it because they're very controversial. It's the main characters, as always, or as it has been since the 3DS games. The avatar is the main character. You get to customize them with either a male or female appearance. And then this one has a Harley Quinn, like red and blue hair kind of design, where it's like half red, half blue.
Yeah, it almost reminded me of My Hero Academia character. With this.
Yeah. Todoroki from that. So it was kind of controversial from the design standpoint, but the rumor and whoever leaked that was saying this was supposed to have been out for the Fire Emblem 30th anniversary, which happened 2 years ago. Game development is hard, got delayed, so we're finally getting it, stuff like that. Don't know too much about it, other than the gimmick for this one is you call upon heroes of the older Fire Emblem games who will come and power up the original characters of this game universe and stuff like that. So that's the tie-in for the series anniversary and stuff like that. So you have
Is it a full-fledged game, though?
Full-fledged game? Yep.
Okay.
Full-fledged game.
Yeah.
Yep.
When did Three Houses come out?
2018? 2019?
Okay.
It was just before. Well, no, it was probably 2018. It was not just before COVID. It was probably the year before that. probably. It's been a while, so it's
It
really
was before Code. It was before Code. So
all right. Looks good. Like I said, I'm buying that without a doubt. I think Fatal Frame was after that, right? Fatal Frame, Tony. That's something that you wanted to. That's your style game, right?
yeah, I mean, the thing. It's one of the things where like I wanted this game so bad because I believe this is the 4, what is known as Fatal Frame 4, which came out on the Wii. And it was, again, this is one of those times where like Nintendo was like really weird with like releasing anything that wasn't like a Wii Sports, Wii Boxing, whatever type of thing. And they're like, you guys don't want JRPGs, you don't want horror games, you just want this other shit. You want Wii music. It's like, all right, whatever, Nintendo. So they never released it outside of Japan, I think, or at least I know America did not get it. I think maybe Europe got it. But it's a remake. It is coming to all platforms, actually. So despite Nintendo owning the franchise, this is something that they don't see as a like brand exclusive worthy kind of thing. So that's good. I mean, scary games are cool. I played the second one on PS2, and that was fucking spooky as shit because you can't fight enemies in like a traditional way. You have a camera and you have to take pictures of the ghosts and the spirits and all that stuff, which requires you to stand still and take those shots. So you kind of expose yourself when you're trying to do the photography and stuff like that. So hopefully it's a good game. It's one of those things where like, I don't know, like it's been so long. Like, do I want to play this? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. To go into that vibe was Front Mission was shown as well. Front Mission,
yes,
1 and 2, and 3's promised.
And 3, they promised 3. Yeah, that's cool.
I am looking forward to that. That's another set that I'll be buying. Front Mission's this year. It's coming out in November, I believe, this year or October. And so I'll be getting Front Mission this year, the remake. That was my fear. That was like, if I played it again, like, do I have the same? It was like, is it gonna hold up? Because it's been. I mean, obviously, it's been how many years now. But I don't know. But it's a remake, so hopefully I'm psyched for it. Those are my style games. Obviously, I've talked about strategy games before. I really like playing those. And so Front Mission 1 and 2 look awesome, and they didn't really show 3. Let's see. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass was shown as well, which is cool to have the announcement for that.
Yeah, just nice to see stuff like it's like a new hero and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, like I can get excited about that, but it's nothing meaty to talk about.
They had the first post-launch Splatfest confirmed. That's what was shown.
Yeah.
What else we have here? We've got Octopath Traveler 2 announced. I might be jumping around a little bit, but we'll get. I do think I'll hit every game we want to talk about. Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah, I played the first one. I love the art style, but haven't got a chance.
Yeah, no, first one. I mean, I got it because it was. It was the first game that introduced the Square Enix's now trademark patented HD 2D, which just looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was a good game. I wouldn't say a great game. It was solid, but the whole gimmick of it was you have 8 characters, and it's kind of like you can pick any character and play through their story, and then each character has like 2 parts of their story, and you can like bounce around and stuff like that, which sounds cool on paper, but like the thing for me personally was that it never, like the characters never meshed to the point where it like felt natural, like they're a party. Because again, you get into like the Mass Effect problem by 3, where it's like you have so many characters, and how are you supposed to write something that makes it feel natural, makes it feel like everybody's getting a fair share and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was the weakest point of the game. Otherwise, it plays kind of like Bravely Default or traditional Final Fantasy games where you have menus and stuff like that. But I'm hoping, after that feedback, because I think that was a common criticism of it, hopefully they took the time to really nail down a piece of story and stuff like that. Because everything else, the artwork, the music, everything was just wonderful. So I'm really hoping that this one's going to be... a great game. Yeah.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland remake. A lot of remakes here, remasters. You got that one. Tales of Symphonia remastered. That's a pretty big remaster to have. That's the game I mixed up. I didn't play that one. That was the game. Yeah. That's the game I really want to play, actually, because I didn't play that one on GameCube. But I remember selling it at EB Games when I worked there, so I was like, I remember how much that game sold, and that was the one I wanted to play. Resident Evil Village Cloud was shown. So those are actually all. I mean, Resident Evil 2 and I think 7
3
as well. Oh, 3 and 3.
Villages. Yeah,
Village
they
is.
already have 7. They already have 7.
Okay, 7 was already on there. So there's cloud-based games. Obviously, they're not. They require online play to play them on the Switch because you can't run these on the power of the Switch, but they can stream them to you, which is a cool technology. Bayonetta was also shown. Finally, Bayonetta 3.
Finally, we saw it earlier in the year.
I know.
It's coming out.
I know. It's finally here. It's
Okay.
Until it launches, man, I'm ready for delays.
No, okay, that is fair. That is fair. Absolutely. Because I'm still waiting on the God of War delay, but we'll get into that later.
The fun part about I did the same thing during Sony's conference. The same thing I'm about to say right now.
I did.
Yes, I was watching this, waiting for them to say we need a little more time. Okay. So that's what I get the same vibe from God of War as well.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Let's see, Harvestella. Oh! Switch Sports is getting golf. And that looked awesome. That looked like they took Mario Golf's idea, right? Like where there was like mass.
Well, Mario Golf Wii Golf was a thing back on the Wii Sports.
Yeah, but it looks like they took that mode where it was like mass play, where you all keep hitting the ball, right? Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. They have they did make a new mode. It's like
the Blitz mode, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's in this game as well, which looks awesome. More Mario Kart 8 tracks. Crazy.
Yeah, it's still going.
It's still going, and
it was all part of the plan.
Strikers, Mike. Strikers.
But we're gonna get a little more content drip fed to that.
You're getting another character.
Two characters. We're getting Pauline and Diddy Kong.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Starting to get to the point where not all the characters will be all used during one game anymore, so that's good.
I think the last update they did that, where you can actually make 2 teams of completely unique characters. But I agree. Look, it's going to take some time. It's just this one feels really, really bad compared to tennis and golf, where it's like,
Mike has said many times, it seems like they forgot about the game. So
yeah,
but
it's not the same as like even the GameCube version. So once it feels like that, then I'll go back to it. I want to go back to it. The core gameplay is great with that, but
no, I agree with you completely. Like it's one of those things I'm like, yeah, this is great core gameplay loop, but it's just kind of like, I need a little.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to ignore it for a while and then go back to be like, oh, this is cool, sweet.
Yeah, you'll get that. We'll get that.
Yeah. I don't listen. If you're a fan of the rhythm games, cool for you. I just don't care. I'm gonna skip through that. The Final Fantasy 35 year celebration thing. It's cool, whatever. Mario Rabbids on its way, obviously not delayed. It will be here.
Yep, Spark Hope. Yep. That looks good.
Yep. Let's see. Wonderful Life, front missions. I think the next big surprise that we got was Pikmin 4, right?
Yeah, I was a little cautious about this. So the past
he trolled you a little bit.
He did. So Miyamoto presented this portion of it. Other than that, was Koizumi, who's been like the
man. He's getting old.
He's getting old. I mean,
I saw him. I'm like, man, he's getting old.
Happens.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, The Legend of Zelda came out the year I was born, and I just turned 36 yesterday.
It's so you can see it, like, but it's starting to hit him now. You can see the aging happen. But Pikmin 4, but so he took over the show there for a little bit to present these Pikmin.
Yeah, and he talked about obviously because Mario is his baby. He started off by mentioning the Mario movie again. I thought we were going to trail, we didn't, which is fine. Yeah. Whatever. The second day I was expecting another delay or something. I was like, oh please, you can't delay it again. Come on.
Yeah.
But then he started talking about Pikmin, and I was like, okay, cool. Like obviously, I love Pikmin. I've been waiting for Pikmin. And he starts talking about the Pikmin Go. I think is the name of the mobile game.
Yeah, it's Pikmin Go.
Which is like that, and I'm just like, bro, this game has been out, and like I understand it's probably not as successful as you need it to be, but like, this is not the news we're looking for. And then he's like, which is great because then, we have Pikmin 4. And then like they showed off a little quick teaser of Pikmin 4. And it's like, yeah, it's coming out next year. And like he had the shirt with the logo and stuff like that. And I was like, Miyamoto, man. Like, okay, you've earned this. You've earned this. Anybody else, I'd be mad right now about this troll. Like, okay, you've earned it. So Pikmin 4, looking forward to it.
I love how he finished it with showing off his shirt. I was like, that is...
Yeah, he's so happy about it.
The
He
only
just loves it.
person in the world to get that can get away with any of that is Miyamoto. That's it. Like, that is it.
Yep.
To give you, like, a trailer with no gameplay. He even says there's no gameplay, but I'll tell you this is how it's going to look. And then say, here's my shirt. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, and it's good. It's one of those things where, like, actually, Pikmin is, like, secretly, like, a Nintendo hard game because, like, I don't know if have you guys ever played Pikmin? Real quick, like...
No, I never played it.
It is like it's an RTS with like a very like not I don't want to say super strict, but like it's an RTS with time management where you're like you only have so much daylight time to accomplish things. So you got to manage like your Pikmin, you got to send them out, you got to build bridges, you got to do whatever, and it is like super stressful too because like and the thing is when you see them die, like they make a really sad noise, and then like they fall over, die, and then you see like their little souls come out of their body. You're just like, this is like softcore like death porn, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but this is like it is stressful. Anyway,
I'm gonna say, believe it or not, we're gonna end the Nintendo conference with N64 conversation here, but we're gonna talk next about Breath of the Wild 2, which was shown here, and we got a date. May. When's the date on this one?
May 13th, 12th, something like that. Yeah.
So next year, May 12th or 13th of 2023.
Let's not call it Breath of the Wild 2 because it's not.
Yes, I know.
Not that anymore.
It's not that. They gave us a title.
It's Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Which is part of why, actually, apparently they didn't debut the Nintendo Direct. They didn't air it in the UK because of recent events.
Got it.
United Kingdom Tears.
Yeah, got it.
I was like, oh shit, okay, like I understand. But yeah, I mean, fortunately, it was like a really short teaser. I think it was like 1 minute, 2 minutes, something like that.
It was quick.
But it just looks so cool.
The traversal,
the traversal, because we're because like the thing is like I praise Breath of the Wild for is like the verticality of it is just it's not just like horizontal. It's like you got to look up, you got to look down, you got to climb and stuff like that. And it takes it to that next, literally
so much
the next
freedom.
level. Yeah,
you have so much freedom to do what you want to do in that game.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to sky platforms, and it's like that's gonna traversal wise. You're gonna be like taking shortcuts. You mentioned shortcuts in this game. What you could do with a glider in this, like where you can go to.
Oh yeah, I mean, apparently he even like hops on like I'll call it a skyboard, instead of a surfboard or something like that. So it's like okay, even faster aerial traversal and movement, stuff like that. And it's really cool because like I think this and the hype for this has been really cool. Obvious because Breath of the Wild is one of the highest rated games. To me, this kind of justifies Skyward Sword's existence because, like, I remember, like, back in the day, like, there was a lot of, like, pushback on that because the motion controls and stuff like that. And it came at the end of the Wii life cycle where I think, people had moved on to the HD systems and stuff like that. Yep. So, to me, it's nice seeing, like, hey, look, that game had a lot of really good ideas. It was just kind of, unfortunately, like the Wii and the Wii U, just ahead of its time in terms of, like, technology wasn't able to properly do what, they wanted.
Then as you are surmising, maybe from the trailer, there could be 7 dungeons in this one. 7.
But yeah, there's the one thing, and like I didn't analyze that as closely as like some people did because like there's one, I think it's Game Explained. They always break down these trailers like 50 things you didn't see in this 2-minute trailer. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, this thing is this, this thing is this. I'm like, holy shit! But the one thing I clearly noticed was there's a part where they have a mural and like you see like some monster thing, and it's surrounded by these 7, I don't know, crystals or spirits or whatever, and I'm just like, awfully familiar feeling here because like the Link to the Past in Ocarina of Time used the I believe it was 7, right? Or was it 8? 7 crystals.
It's 8. I thought it was 8.
8. Yeah, okay, so
maybe
maybe
the 9th is usually the final, the Ganon encounter. Usually 8 is the traditional.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Historically, it was there's 8 Triforce Piece dungeons, and then you go to the 9th to fight Ganon. That's usually the way it works.
And it makes sense if you're doing a prime number like that.
Yeah.
3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like, it gives you more options though. Like, it's stuff I want for this game. So I want more. I want more dungeons. I want more. That's the aspect for me. Like, the world is awesome by itself, but like, I want more of those puzzles that we got from the dungeons. So, interesting how this could work. So, and I'm sure again, back to the thing. Like, I'm sure those are completely optional. Like, I'm sure you could run right to the boss if you want to. But you don't.
They have a great like foundation, and now just give more same little tweaks here and there.
Yeah. So let's move on to the N64 news, which I can't believe we're closing a 2022 game.
No, I would say is equally good as an announcement.
A direct.
But we're closing the direct with this because I felt like this was the most shocking announcement at the direct. Was crazy enough.
So just to start off, N64 is still getting more games. Yeah.
I was the whole time. I'm like, this looks fun. I'm gonna play these games. Yeah.
Pilot Wings actually, I mean, is really remarkable because people were speculating this whole time because that was a launch title along with Mario 64.
Yeah.
People were speculating that it would never see the light of day because of two things. There's a license involved, was something I forget, but also it has the Twin Towers in it, and
wow.
9/11 and all that stuff. Yeah,
Wow.
so people are like, this is never going to see the light of day. So that is really remarkable to see this finally on there. But also, it looks like it's playing in 60 FPS. People have analyzed, which N64 games look like I love them, but like playing them nowadays, like it's hard to go back. It is really hard to go back to some of these. We'll talk about that.
It's the polygons.
It's the polygons. But we'll go
as we revealed in like the biggest impactful game they showed during this thing was GoldenEye. That's right. If you're listening to this, stop your car, pull to the side of the road, and listen, because GoldenEye is actually coming back. It is going to be on the N64 Switch Online game release with online multiplayer. For the Switch exclusive? Is that what we sounded like here?
The online is Switch exclusive, yes.
But yeah, so they got the licensing. I don't even know how they did this. And it's also coming for the Xbox on Game Pass, by the way, guys. In 4K, 60 frames per second. But it's GoldenEye is here. It's back. And they cleaned it up every console. I mean, the Switch is cleaned up as well. Amazing that Rare, Microsoft, and the licensing is, I think, the biggest shocker here. Because Microsoft, we've seen release stuff for
Nintendo. It's been like teased for Xbox for so long. It's like
I've talked about this for and I mean even recently with around E3 time. I said that the achievements got leaked on the Xbox website and stuff like that. So everybody's expecting that, but then war in Ukraine and everything like that. And I'm sure exactly that's why it didn't get announced back then.
Yeah,
because Russia's the enemy. So
yeah, I mean. I can't wait to re-experience this game because I'll be playing it again. Mike, what about you?
I mean, you don't really understand the whole, only online on the worst online system imaginable, but we'll see if that's a real thing. But no, I'm excited about it. I want, obviously, I would look to play it on Game Pass. Aside from that's a real head scratcher to me, and I don't get it, but. Otherwise, I've been looking to do this. I've played it recently on an N64, and it's blurry and it's hard to adjust the controls.
I've seen the screenshots they released for this, for the 4K version of it, and you're just not having the fog that you remember the N64 fog. It just made me think about that back.
Yeah.
It's gone. The cartridge fog is gone, and it's just like that by itself, or the N64 32-bit 64-bit era fog is gone, and just to have that is so cool. To see the whole game cleaned up like that, just that by itself.
I mean, and the modernized controls, I'm sure, although they didn't go into that, I'm sure you're going to have dual analogs for this. So, I mean, that alone makes it, well worth it, just to even play through the single player stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know when soon is, but I've something I've been wanting ever since they pretty much did the same thing for Perfect Dark for the Xbox 360, arcade version. If you recall that, that was a good sort of port or remake, really, at that time, and now we're gonna finally get it for GoldenEye. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm excited.
Like I said, coming to Game Pass and to Switch Online, so it's free. If you paid for those services, it's free. So I'm psyched for it. I'm excited. It looks good, and we'll see where they go. So
it's good news. This is one of those things that again has been trying to happen for quite a long time. Even go back to I think 360 days.
Yeah,
360 and Wii. I think it was actually supposed to be originally.
Weirdly enough, one of the reasons why this might be happening now, because of how crazy the Broccoli family is, and all the James Bond license holders, is there's no seated James Bond actor right now, because the problem used to be there can only be one James Bond at one time. They didn't want to have other versions or older versions released in new things before. It's part of the reason why they culled all the other Bonds from the original release of this game, because they tried to do that. Rare put them in there, and then they're like, no, we only want one Bond at once. So maybe that's why this is now, because because Craig is finally done with his run. I don't know, but their weirdness with the license has been well documented. So it is also kind of a surprise that this is happening at all in any way.
Amazing, quite amazing, just from that, just from the licensing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into the state of play. We have the Sony one as well still. So I think we're gonna go through the biggest games announced. It started off with Tekken 8, which is showing.
Not that many, so it's way shorter. Yeah. So yeah, Tekken 8's in development. It looks good. I thought it was all CGI until like they transitioned right into the game.
Right into the gameplay.
That's impressive. Yeah. I was like, that's impressive. That's impressive. I'm not even like the biggest Tekken fan, but that was super impressive.
Tekken's got an interesting story. Like I really enjoyed the fact that it's like he's the villain now, Kazuha, who used to be like I guess the good guy, and I don't know. It just seems cool now. His kid's the good guy. I just thought it was an interesting like generational thing, and they teased it at Gamescom.
Evo.
No, Evo. Yeah, Evo.
Yeah.
All I know about that story is they just keep throwing each other into volcanoes. That's all I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are jacked, and they just keep getting more jacked.
They are. Yeah. So, I think. I mean,
I'm as excited for that though as Street Fighter, obviously.
Yeah, and then let's see, we've got Oh, this was interesting. Like a Dragon, Ishin.
This is confusing to me for a few reasons. So, I mean, obviously, so this is one of this weird spin-offs that was Japanese only originally, the Ishin games, where
14, yes.
Yes, and it basically is a Yakuza sort of spin-off where I guess their ancestors that happen to look exactly like the modern characters do some I don't know what the actual technical era this is from, but is it feudal Japan or around that time?
It's around that. Old Japan.
I don't want to be like way off. So that this seems to be a modern remake of that. But what's confusing to me is some of the scene seems like, that's an action game, but it's like a dragon hyphen this. So I'm like, is going to be an RPG like a dragon? So I don't really know.
I got the vibe.
I'm not sure.
Be the RPG style because I saw like a dragon, but that's. I mean,
but when you see that specific thing where he hits like 4 or 5 different enemies with the sword quickly, but it didn't look like a canned animation or anything.
That's true.
No, so it's an action game. It isn't 100%
an action game. Okay.
Yes.
So the titling is confusing, but it is a remake of that game. So that was an action game. So I don't think you could change the core of it. But
I mean.
Man. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to give it a look. It's interesting. It's not exactly what I expected from Yakuza, and Ishin alone, I wasn't itching for that because it's it's a totally different thing. But
I gotta say that the next few games we saw were they looked. I mean, there's the PSVR 2 stuff for Star Wars. There was the fantasy tabletop themes thing, Demio. But I'll tell you, the Hogwarts Legacy game that looked rough, didn't it? I was like, man, this looks really rough. I mean, it's coming out in February, right?
I looked away. I'm not interested in Harry Potter. I'm not
interested in putting that got delayed.
Yeah, but it doesn't look good now. I'm just like, man,
I mean,
in February.
I don't know. I showed some of it to Ashley. She's a big Harry Potter fan, and she might be into it if I play it for her, basically. But I don't know. I think this is one of those games that is hurt by a lot of the character customization you can do. Yeah. So everything is going to look a little generic because of that, and the fact that I don't know if there's multiple characters that reflect based on how you look, but I get the sense that might be something like someone might be secretly related or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Resident Evil remake. That was there.
What?
No, that wasn't there. I'm trying to flip through this news, and this was a bad site. This is a wrong site. So I think the next one I liked was the Ronin, Rise of the Ronin, which is Team Ninja, was shown as well. Set in late 19th century, you play as a Ronin who can basically make his own choices. You had some gunplay with swordplay. It seemed like it was a really cool take on late samurai Japan kind of thing. It did have a Ghost of Tsushima look with Assassin's Creed mixed. That's a good example here.
Oh, Speaking of which, we didn't even get into that, did we? All of the Assassin's Creed announcements, did we?
I missed all that. I didn't see any of those announcements. So did they?
They literally announced like 4 games.
Yeah.
Um,
One's an MMO, right, or something like that.
it's confusing.
Doesn't matter.
One is coming out next year. Infinite is really not even a game. It's like a launcher for their next 2 games or something,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird. But one of the games is the Japanese, Code Red is what it's called, the Japanese thing everyone's been wanting from them for a long time.
Feudal Japan stuff.
Yeah.
Which the Rise of the Ronin looks good. I mean, that's Team Ninja, so they make good action.
Yeah. Good action.
That are alive team. Like, what did they make? They made like Ninja Gaiden, right?
So they made Ninja.
Yeah.
Sin Duality, another game shown. A mixing third-person robot combat. Due out next year on PS5. What else we have here? Whoops, auto-playing. Sorry, everybody. Pacific Drive. Weird-looking game. That game looked rough too, didn't it?
I don't even know why they showed it. Like, there's nothing to glean from that fucking trailer. It's like, okay, you drive.
Only the thing is, I didn't watch any of this, and the only things that I've seen talked about afterwards were like 2 games.
Yeah,
so
and then the final game here. One's getting I don't care about the rest of this. God of War Ragnarok got shown as well.
Wait, was Crisis Core Reunion, was that on the Direct or was that on Sony's thing?
It was at the Direct, but it might have been at the Sony thing too.
Crisis Core?
Mm-hmm. The Crisis Core remake is coming to everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But you guys didn't talk about it, so I was like, I don't remember which one was that. Because I didn't watch either of these yet. So
it's at both. The other noteworthy game I would say that was shown off here was the game formerly known as Project Eve. Stellar Blade.
Yeah, Stellar Blade. Yeah.
Stellar Blade. This is that Korean game. The Korean studio Shift Up.
2023. Yeah.
Coming out in 2023. It looks like a action, fast-paced.
Pretty much like almost like a platinum.
Like a Bayonetta, Nier Automata kind of thing. So I'm all for it. I'm excited to see what we can do with that. I like action games, so we'll see there. But yeah,
Ragnarok.
Getting a controller. Trailer.
Ooh,
whoop whoop.
I was like, really? They're ending this on a fucking controller?
Yeah, that was a little shocking too. And then it cut away too, and I'm like,
it cut away. I was like, no. I was like, there's no way.
Then they bring out the Santa Monica symbol, and we get the actual God of War trailer with a release date.
Yep. We got the release date before. Like, we had the release date.
Listen,
we had it already.
For the record, yet again, like I said in the Nintendo Direct side of things, I'm watching
when they announced it,
I'm watching this trailer, and I'm like waiting for a different date. So when we got the date, I was like, okay, good. But so the trailer came out for this, and we get a little mix of action, a little gameplay into it with the cutscenes. Looks great. It does look great. It looks fantastic.
No, it absolutely looks great. I mean, the original did too. So for me, like whatever, it's gameplay is satisfying enough and stuff like that. Yeah. But I just feel like I want to go excellent. I don't know. I don't think I'd say excellent.
I think it looked great. I mean, the Thor fight that I saw.
No. I'm talking about like the game looks great. I would say the action itself. I don't. Left a lot to be desired by me, but the story looks cool because obviously we get to follow up with his son, Loki. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert there. And just the way, because I think I'm not sure if he was talking to Thor in this trailer or he was talking to Odin, one of the two.
Yeah.
Basically just getting shit talked, and I'm just like kind of wondering. I'm like, oh my god, like, is the Sony playbook now like you're gonna kill off the main protagonist of the last game? Like, is this it? And I feel like this is.
He does make the comment multiple times though. Don't make what's written your actual destiny in this trailer or something like that. He says something like that. What is written doesn't have to become what is. So,
yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I just still feel really weird, and I think it's just going to be like okay, like first game was sad dad, now it's going to be sad son. So I don't know. Just that's my interpretation of the trailer. Just that's all I'm commenting on.
So early in this game then?
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe the end. I think Kratos will die at some point.
Do you think we're doing like a Raiden bait and switch here? Like all we just saw of Kratos in the gameplay was like just the beginning.
And you don't even have to go to Raiden. You can just go to a different Sony game that was
Yeah,
released.
no, I
fairly
mean that's what I
recently.
said. Like,
That was why the comment I was just making. Like,
I know that's
Like,
what
like,
I'm
why-
saying, Jim.
I said this weeks ago.
Did you play as Joel in Last of Us Part 2?
I don't think so. Do you?
I didn't play it.
The point of
But I'm saying the protagonist of the last game.
control him for a second, sure.
Oh my god, that's come on, Corey. My comment
What do you
of
mean,
Raiden-
come on?
The comment of Raiden is the fact that you play as Solid Snake. You saw Solid Snake's gameplay in Metal Gear Solid 2, and that's all you had for Solid Snake. You then went right into this other player. So this whole trailer was playing as Kratos the entire time.
I mean, you don't even get to play half the game of Last of Us 2 as the main character from one of the main characters from the first one before you get switched to. I mean, you get a whole new character as well on that. I'm just saying, Tony was alluding to that very obviously.
I'm just saying it's closer to Metal Gear Solid 2. That's what he's saying.
I'm just saying I expect Kratos to die in this game, and that's the whole thing. And then God of War 3 is going to be...
You have a father figure passing away. That's obviously...
I know. I just wish... I don't know. And maybe that's, as we talk about expectations and just dark green things. Like, I'm just expecting the worst, but we'll see.
I mean, to me, I don't care. Kratos can die, whatever.
Oh, no. Kratos... I don't care. I don't want it to be formulaic. That's all.
And I don't really want to be Atreus either, because he seems annoying.
He's not. He's definitely not Kratos.
Literally anything. I hate this guy. I hate this character. Why are they going to be cheating?
Everyone says he's annoying, but what is funny is there seems to be a time jump which doesn't really jive with the way that the last game ended, because he seems older.
Yeah, he's a teenager now.
I mean, the kids,
I know,
they grow
but
fast, so...
The end of the last game, it seemed like shit was going on down to get him back going, like, right at that time, so... I'm curious
they may have, like, a little...
He was probably doing like a fucking montage or something, like, this is what happened between the... it'll be Kratos telling a story and, like, montage of, like, him growing up a little bit and stuff like that, so...
I guess, they were about to fight Thor at the end of the first game. Like, that was happening then. He was standing outside, so I don't know how that...
They can explain it easily, just whatever, just fought to a standstill, and then, whatever bullshit. I don't know, that's like such a weird thing to be hung up on. Like, he clearly looks older. He's like absolutely older.
I know, so I'm wondering why.
Well, you don't have to wait too long. You'll find out.
We'll see.
Maybe we are getting the bait and switch. Maybe that is the beginning of the game where you just saw Kratos fighting Thor, and he dies. He dies in that fight.
I will say though that what I've seen of the gameplay, I haven't actually seen this trailer, but I have seen other little bits of the gameplay. It does look pretty samey to the last one. Like, they're not showing us anything that different, which could...
I mean, that's what made the game great, though. It's not necessarily a bad thing either. It's like, do you want to...
That they're not showing us the kids' combat because you play as them later, and that makes it all new for you.
Yeah. But, like, again, it's not always a bad thing to just have more of the same.
No. All right. Anything else for that? We're good at the state of play? That was about it. So,
I think so.
November 9th, God of War. So, all right, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Once again, we are on Twitch streaming live Tuesday nights starting at 8 o'clock. Please tune into those. The following day, we are on YouTube. Smash that subscribe and the like button, as Tony says. Break them on your mouse.
Master.
Yes. And streaming the audio on Spotify and iTunes, so you can check those out. And those are, anytime you listen to the audio stuff, I love it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's going to wrap it up. We appreciate you guys. We will see you soon. We are out.